Whew, man, Jason goes to hell. The only way I got through that movie is having one of these damn Voorhees burgers. Oh man, I don't know what's worse, that burger or the fucking movie. Oh god, that was awful. All right, Jigsaw, I watched your damn movie. Let me go.
Hello, Bert, and congratulations once again for still being alive. I'm proud of you at this point, so I'm going to give you an option to escape this room now.
What's the damn option? I'm tired of your games, man. What do I gotta do now?
You can either stay where you're at and watch Freddy Krueger fly on a broom and Freddy's dead, ultimately making this your tomb, or you can enter the box before you and escape this room now.
No, I'm not getting in that damn box.
So be it. Goodbye.
What are you doing? Damn, you know what? Screw this. I'd rather get squished. Why did it stop?
Once again, Bert, you didn't think I'd make it this easy on you, did you? You're gonna have to watch Freddy's Dead anyway.
No, oh, hell no. Go. Turn it on! Turn it on! I'm not watching this piece of shit! Turn it on! Turn it on! Put me out of my misery!
I'm afraid it's time for you to start your movie, Bert. Oh, and don't forget to pack your 3D glasses. They'll come in handy. Goodbye.
No!
My name's Jeff. What's going on, guys and gals? And welcome to Good Reel Hunting. We have for the good reels so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad. The Brett Man's over there. We are continuing our Saw franchise reviews today with Saw 5. We're over halfway now. Well, if you count Spiral, I guess we're at the halfway point with this one. But we're still going to be, math gets complicated. Anyway, we're going to jump into this one. If you haven't seen our last few reviews, we'll put a link for those over Brett's head. They've been fun so far, so be sure to go back and check them out. We're excited to get tackled into this one's abyss today, whatever the heck that means, and talk about a little Saw 5. So it's going to be a good time. Brett, how do you feel about it?
Man, this one's towards the bottom. I could go ahead and let you know. I was disappointed at a lot of parts. Like, there's still some good into it that we'll surely dive into, but other than that, just a little disappointed.
Okie dokie. Well, hit us up with some of the deets about this one, and
yeah, let's go with the cast here. We got Tobin Bell coming back once again as John Kramer. We got Kostas Mandalore. We got Scott Patterson. We got Betsy Russell, and is directed by David Hackle.
David Hackle. Let's get hacked up with Hackle. I like it. That's what they should have named it. So this one is about Agent Strom. Obviously, he goes into the last one. You know, the Saw 4 ends. He gets locked into the room. This one, he finds a way out. He gets trapped again. He saves himself from that trap, and then he continues on the hunt. And he's trying to get, he's nipping on the heels of Detective Hoffman the whole time here, which is a nice little cat and mouse game. And there's also some random ass, weird ass trap going on in the background, but nobody knows exactly anything about that. So we'll get into this movie. What do you like about it, Brett?
What I like about it, I like just like the whole, we're just following detectives or to FBI agent Strom throughout this movie. It's just like going through the process of like learning what Hoffman is all about, why he is the new apprentice of Jigsaw himself, of John Kramer, and to see the little flashbacks too. That's one thing I always like about the Saw franchise, is the flashbacks to give us those little details about the story. I really enjoyed that, and actually, honestly, that's only the main positives I have. Like, just when I'm thinking about it.
I like, yeah, I'm right with you on that one, man. Having that whole thing where you're finding this is the movie where you find out a lot about Hoffman, right? And I like that. It's an interesting backstory. You learn about his sister getting killed, and then him, obviously becoming Jigsaw as a fake Jigsaw to kill the killer of his sister. And I always thought that was pretty interesting. That was a pretty cool way to kind of develop into his backstory and give you a little bit of reasoning of why he chose to go into this, because I never would have expected it. I never would have necessarily believed it. But then whenever you throw all this stuff in, it adds to that. It helps a lot. I like seeing that. His trap was pretty cool too with the pendulum. I like that one quite a bit.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was pretty gnarly. My biggest positive for this is Peter Strahm again. I think he carries this thing like he does a great job as your protagonist all the way through. Every time that their story's going on, the cat and mouse game between Strahm and Hoffman, I'm really into this movie. I love that aspect of it, and just kind of seeing him doing the investigation. He's like, "Oh, I left with that on a gurney with a fucking hole in my neck." He says like that with his voice because he chopped the pin in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. Just the way he's talking the whole time, and just everything. I love that aspect, the Hoffman and Strahm game here. The way that Hoffman's kind of setting things out here and there to make Strahm a suspect. And then at the same time, Strahm's actually figuring out what's going on. Like, who's going to win this? And it's compelling to me. I love all that.
Oh yeah, and of course that third act too. Because when the first time I watched this, when Hoffman gets stuck inside the glass box, I'm like, oh my god, the good guy actually wins. And
right?
The recording, haha! You should just learn to walk away.
Right.
And then that's where he gets freaking squished like a jelly.
Jellyfish.
Oh,
anyway.
jellyfish. I had no pun on that one. So
yeah. I like all that. The ending I think is fantastic. This is probably again one of my favorite endings in the franchise as far as that goes, because it's like you're following Strahm the whole way and you're seeing him figure this out, and you're like, oh, he's actually going to win this damn thing. Yes, woo! He throws him in there, he closes the door, and then, oh, you're going to die now. And that was just like, yeah, that was very creative the way they did that. And they foreshadowed this in the last one by showing you the box, him creating the box. And
Jigsaw did.
Yeah. So that was cool.
Yeah, and too bad Strahm didn't have freaking C-3PO and R2-D2 helping him out.
Oh, I know, dude. They could have shut the walls down.
Yeah, they could.
Another thing I like about this particular movie, though, is the interactions with Hoffman and Jigsaw and the flashbacks. I always thought that was really cool, and I actually think that it kind of opens your eyes a little bit to how some of the stuff Jigsaw was able to do before, like as far as putting people in certain positions and things like that, because Hoffman looks stronger than Jigsaw. How they kind of mentioned it in Saw 4. Oh, he's got to have another accomplice. Amanda Young can't do this. She weighs 105 pounds. You're like, you kind of figuring this stuff out. And I like how it goes all the way back to Saw 2 and even Saw 1 to show flashbacks prior to those games, like the Razor Wire Boy and stuff, getting him captured and then fighting with him. And then the flashback with Saw 2 where they're all in the room. And great quote there, too. He said, when they're setting up that trap in Saw 2, he says, if you're good at anticipating the human mind, it leaves nothing to chance. And I thought that was a pretty good little quote there from Jigsaw, too, because it kind of, I don't know, it's always been one of my favorite things he says. So I like that. Those flashbacks, I actually think the flashbacks work nicely here to bring you back to the earlier stages of the franchise. And yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all I really got, because I'm ready to dive into these negatives. There's no mix in this one either.
Yeah, I was thinking there was one other thing. I am ready for the negatives too, but I feel like I'm missing something that I did want to mention at least. But
well, if you think of it, we'll come right back to it, and we'll
go ahead and jump us in on the negs.
But damn, the negative is I was just so into the whole Strahm and Detective Hoffman storyline. I did not give two shits about the whole game.
I didn't either, dude. It was totally unnecessary. It was just there to have traps.
Yeah, because they didn't do anything for anybody.
No, dude. They would just it barely even got a mention in the main story. Like, it was totally, and it didn't start until like 25 minutes in, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was frustrating. What was more frustrating is like the whole at the end of the result of that game, they're like, oh, if you would just work together, you all could have made it out. well, no shit, Sherlock. Like, I think we all could have figured that out. Especially the tunnel one. That one
Yeah, dude.
frustrated the hell out of me. I'm like, what the hell are you all doing?
Dude, they all did. Even the first one. I'm like, okay, even if all the keys weren't the same, okay, easy. Okay, somebody runs up there, they snag him a key. All right, cool. Let me get everybody else's key for them. Here you go. Here you go. Here you
Right?
go. Like, it's not a brain surgeon to figure that one out. That one's easy. And I don't know, man. That is so frustrating. And not to mention the characters were absolutely atrocious, man.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
you
main
did
game.
not give two shit. Like, you actually want all of them to die.
I like the reporter guy, and Megan Good I thought was pretty good, but the rest of the people sucked ass. And the two that survived were the absolute worst.
I
Or the
know.
two that made it to the ending, like, oh my gosh, they were the worst of the five. And it
Can't
was
even
just
tell you their names.
no, dude. I couldn't. I like the guy that works for the Herald. Like, he was kind of entertaining, and when he got blown away, I was a little bit disappointed because I did not really care for the rest of them. So it was, it was. They were absolutely atrocious characters that you didn't care at all about, man. Like, it was awful. And yeah, I mean, the concept that they were going for was kind of cool. Like the whole, like, oh, you thought you're gonna employ you to do the opposite kind of deal, where, like, you know, you think that they're gonna have to one off each other one step of the way, and then at the end you could have realized that you worked all together. But man, I just didn't like how obvious some of these were, man. It was like, oh boy.
I started to figure it out with the bathtub scene, like the kind of like everybody take a shock for the door to open. That's when I figured out, what if these guys would just work together?
Yeah, man, it's silly. Or, I mean, you could have went back in and, well, no, he was pretty much blown away. But either way, I just, I don't know, man. I didn't like that aspect of it. I just thought, like, you could have cut out that whole sequence of the movie and just focused on Strom and Hoffman, which that part was fantastic. All that stuff going on was fantastic. And I know you wouldn't have had as many traps that way, but you could have just developed a story and got some traps back on the sixth one. And I think that would have been fun.
Exactly. Like, if we just would have, it was your chance to make this movie something completely different where you can, like, sink your teeth into. And they did it with the whole Strom and Hoffman. You had it, but you just wasted this time with this trap, this game that nobody really gave a damn about. And that's just what really drags it down for me mostly. And the whole Jill storyline too, with the whole, like, he left you with 6 envelopes, and I'm like,
I'm leaving you a box today.
Yeah, I don't care about what's in the box, even though the box comes into play later on. But, like,
I disagree with that one. That one, I remember when I was 5 is when I was really became obsessed with the franchise. That was about the time frame when 5 was out. 6, I think, was the first one I saw. If I'm not mistaken, 6 was the first one I went and saw at midnight, back when they did midnight releases.
Oh, okay.
And because at this point I was completely obsessed with the franchise, and I remember being so freaking, what's in the box? You know, like, what's in the box?
What's in the box?
And I wanted to know so bad, but we figured out later, and it was all kind of cool. So I like that setting up for the next sequels. I kind of like the box thing. But God, the freaking traps here, man, or the main game was just weird.
Yeah, bad.
She randomly shows up at the end. She says, "We won. We won."
Oh, I was like,
Not
no,
really.
you didn't, you dumb bitch. But yeah, but yeah, before I get a headache, just continuing how bad that game was. Do you want to go with our best trap?
I do. I will say,
even if there is one, there's only like 1 or 2 that I can really talk about.
yeah, I got a couple, but I did want to mention at least the I like the interaction. This is one thing I forgot to say earlier. I like the meetup, if you will, of John Kramer and Detective Hoffman. The flashback in the elevator. Which floor are you going to? Oh,
Yes.
It doesn't matter. You know, and he's riding up, and he says he shoots him with the syringe and knocks him out, drags his ass back. I thought that was cool. But anyway, yeah, let's go with the best trap.
Yeah, the best trap. It's a really tight between two because I love the ending with the whole glass box and the collapsing room. But honestly, to me, like, the best looking one with cinematography and all that, because I thought that it wasn't going to end well for Strom, is when Strom gets trapped in that box with his head and to get drowned. And he does the genius thing in grabbing that pen and creating that oxygen, like a way for him to breathe. I thought that was so cool to look at.
Yeah, that was really cool. I always loved moment of the movie. Honestly, that's my favorite movie moment from this, honestly, but or favorite as far as the traps go. But I'm going to give it to the pendulum at the beginning. I think that one's pretty dope. I do have a couple problems with it, but the idea of it just freaking sprawled out, waiting on that is pretty horrifying. And then the effects and the guts, that was pretty cool. I mean, obviously, though, like at the end of the day, I don't like the fact that A, it wasn't escapable, and B, even if it was escapable, I think it's a pretty fair trade-off. Like I wouldn't mind to crush my hands to get out of that thing for sure. But outside of that, I thought it was really cool. I'm also not buying the fact that Hoffman made that, but again, I turned my mind off, and it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I agree with that. You want to go ahead and just jump with the movie ratings?
Let's do it, my friend.
All right. Well, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. I hate to give it a 3 out of 5 because of how much I love the Strom and Hoffman story angle. But that stupid game just weighted the whole movie down and just got in the way where I just did not care about it whatsoever. So I feel like just a 3 out of 5 is good for this movie.
That's my rating as well, my friend. I agree 100%.
So we're going with your old Average Joe's Gymnasium on this one. Pretty simple.
Average Joe's Gymnasium.
Oh, my sweet Jesus.
That's right.
Absolutely. Good time. Still not the worst.
Yeah, still not the worst. We're getting there.
We're getting there, but it's not quite there.
I feel like we got one more good movie left, and then these next couple ones are just going to be a little cringy. But
yeah,
so we can get there. Let's wrap it up with this video. So, guys, what did you all think about Saw 5? Did you actually enjoy this movie, or are you kind of like on me and Brad's side that this movie is definitely towards the bottom of everybody's list? Let us know in that comment section down below. Let's get this discussion rolling.
And if you know Sonic Good Reels, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, Snapchat, Spotify, and Apple freaking Podcast. Those links are in the description for you.
Absolutely. And be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe. And of course, ring that token bell. Ding, ding, ding. So you know when the next game is up and ready.
And we'll play again soon.
See you guys.